I'm sure you were briefed that the chairman would ask you a series of routine questions at the beginning, and you went through and answered them properly. I just want to emphasize one of those questions. Do you agree, when asked before this committee, to give your personal views, even if your views differ from the administration? That's a very important question, because we need to know what your best military advice is, not colored by the views of the administration, the president. I just want to emphasize how important this question is. You answered it properly, but I just want to have it in the back of your head in the future. And it's going to be difficult. It's not easy to say something that may be unacceptable to some other part of the Pentagon or the administration. In looking over my notes as I made questions, I realized that all of my questions involve changes in the strategic posture. You've mentioned several times that we've gone from a bipolar world to a multipolar world in terms of our adversaries. That's a strategic change, but there are others. Just to run down a quick list. Electromagnetic spectrum and electronic warfare, you've touched upon. I realize there's classified information here, but I hope that you will commit to holding serious exercises on electronic warfare and notify us of how we're doing, because this is a new strategic challenge that I'm not sure we're adequately accounted for yet.
So, Senator, for your first question, absolutely yes. My best military advice presented to the committee. For your second is another absolutely yes. We're going to have to flesh out through exercises, as you mentioned, to ensure we can find any blind spots and shortfalls and make corrections as warranted and as required. So I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Another area of strategic change has happened in the last 4 or 5 years, and that is hypersonics. We've thought of strategic forces as nuclear weapons and nuclear deterrence. Hypersonics are a new threat that is a strategic threat, particularly, for example, the Chinese putting a hypersonic glide vehicle in orbit, which radically changes things like how much time we might have to react to an attack. Do you view hypersonics as a serious strategic challenge?
Senator, I do, and I see it as a warning challenge. I think as far as when we have a conversation, if confirmed, I think my fellow combatant commanders will have to have a discussion and understand how to give kind of relook missile defense, relook missile warning, understand what a sensor layer looks like that can achieve those effects, to give time, because I need to give decision space to the decision maker.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the bullet-on-bullet theory of missile defense is out the window when you're talking about hypersonics. Another area is cyber. You've talked about it. You've indicated how important it is, particularly with NC3. Will you commit to red teaming and pen testing and hackers for hire to test the security of the systems that you're developing? I don't think you really know how secure you are until somebody attacks you. And I want it to be a friendly attack.
Senator, if confirmed, that'll be one of the first directions I would give to the NEC.
Thank you. Final point, again, a new strategic challenge, or a different strategic challenge, and I don't expect really an answer, but perhaps you could consider this for the record. That is non-state actors with nuclear weapons. The deterrent theory doesn't work if you don't have a capital city and if you don't care about dying. And we have a proliferation of nuclear weapons, and we have rogue states developing nuclear weapons and nuclear materials. The chances of those materials falling into the hands of a terrorist organization, it seems to me, are increasing gradually but steadily. I hope you will give this some thought, because it's a major strategic challenge that doesn't fit within the ambit of what has been our historic deterrent strategy for dealing with nuclear threats.
Senator, you're absolutely right, and I will get back with you if confirmed, and we can have further discussions along that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.